see if we can do it right this morning. There it is. We got it right. Dave
Hey,
Boogie with the Bowl.
practice makes perfect. Hey, you guys remember Romper Room and all those kid shows we used to watch as little children?
Yes, in
Uh,
Massachusetts, my sister Lucy and Amy, the older ones from me in the sibling hierarchy, were actually on some episodes of Romper Room in
really?
Boston.
Oh my
And
God.
then it turned out my skill trip, and we were invited on for part of one of the broadcasts. But yeah, go ahead.
I
Remember.
know. I guess it's just old age, but and which is not a bad thing. Um, I get to points sometimes where I get melancholy. I guess that's the right word when I use. And I think about the things when I was a child, what I used to do, and watch on TV or play outside. Hopscotch, Cowboys and Indians. Obviously, the playground with all the metal rusted rides and stuff, and thing you would turn around and you get so sick so you throw up. But also, you remember all the good TV shows, right?
Yep.
And Romper Room, Captain Kangaroo, the guy with the puppet, and so forth. But you look at the bulk of the children's programming today on just regular standard broadcast, and it's all geared towards wokeness and the left trying to turn your little children into something that they're not supposed to be. And it's sad. Sesame Street is a big example of what happened. They have gay characters and lesbian characters, and they're pushing the whole damn agenda, and it's just wrong. If they should allow a child to be a child, to enjoy the blessings of being innocent and not even thinking about the bad things happen in the world around them. That's going to hit them soon enough in the face,
It is.
especially when they turn 18.
Yep.
Um, let them hit 18, then let them decide for themselves, what path they want to take for their lives. But I've seen. I was going through. I'm beginning to get together enough content to start doing some broadcasts about the Bouguet family. In fact, she just mentioned that they need a webmaster for their website, so I'm going to see if I can take that challenge on. But through the process of finding those really old videos of when they were just children playing their instruments, I came across a romper room episode from the early 1950s,
Okay.
and it brought back so many good memories. And then I
Wow.
wake and then I wake up and realize that the world's about becoming World War III. We're still pushing that. I think the Biden administration is not going to be content until they drag this country into an all-out boots on the ground fighting war. I didn't know what the hell we were fighting in Syria until I heard that the Syrian government fell.
Yeah.
I saw this video of a warthog flying over Syria, and you can hear the high caliber gun shooting, which is a very unique sound to the warthog.
Yep.
And you knew it was shooting at something, but I didn't know we were at war.
I don't know if it's at war or if we were. I mean, or just trying to help Syria liberate itself, which I guess is a war, kind of like what we're doing in Ukraine. But because President Trump, as I said in the green room, bombed Syria because he wanted Assad to understand that you don't do that. You don't test biological weapons on your own people. Uh, we're going to do our best to help that stop. Now that it looks like the people have stood up and booted Assad out, that to some extent, I believe we are responsible to kind of stand by and help them flourish and grow into a free and independent Syria if that's what the people want. Uh,
I mean, I can see us getting involved. This kind of comes back to the one question that uh, William and I had a disagreement on, and that is nation building. Should the United States be involved in nation building? So, in a sense, what we're talking about here with Syria is, um, since we helped them, we have like 1,000 soldiers boot on the ground in Syria that we obviously have to protect and support, and that might be one reason why we got involved. Um, but uh, uh, to help them succeed. They kicked the guy out. Obviously, I guess the military that followed him is in deep shit because they'll probably be getting dragged down to the streets and beaten to death because they supported him. But uh, do we now just sit back and wait to see what fills the void of the government, or do we have the CIA go in there,
no,
pick a man out of the grocery mart, and say, "You're going to be the new leader of Syria. We're going to help you. We'll give you all this money to
well,
support you."
well, maybe the reality is what we want isn't exactly what's going to happen. But forget about the CIA going in and installing one of their own and saying that he is now the the president of Syria. Maybe in years of understanding or hearing that that's the kind of thing the CIA does, whether or not we have proof of it, uh, maybe it's time that we just do what we did. We brought military experts and we maybe brought in some machinery to help uh, create what should grow into a free and independent Syria. And in doing so, we get an ally, not another mouth to feed at the trough of international countries that uh, fell only because they want to be the 53rd state. I mean, we have to go beyond that right now. Uh, in the course of building allies and having allies around the world, you go in and help. You go in and help your allies, around the world, and expect that they would come in and help you when we have to.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard that they said that Hamas is kind of like stepping in. Is that correct?
Well, I'm sure they are. I'm sure
And
Hamas is stepping in. I'm sure Soviet Russia is trying to step in. I'm sure Communist China is trying to step in.
yeah,
It's
'cause
like,
I know. Trump told Russia to stay out of Syria. So we'll see if he listens. And to be honest with you, I think right now Russia has enough on their damn plate to get involved militarily with some other country.
right,
They should concentrate that military asset to defend their own damn country. Because right now Russia's getting hit
right.
actually internally in their land, and they're starting to have some damage done to their cities. So he ought to just concentrate on the war in front of him, get that behind him, and then if he decides to move forward, move forward. But with Trump coming into the office in 40 some odd days or whatever, he doesn't want to get messed up with Trump in a war situation.
Well, I think that's what everybody's trying to do right now, Biden included. He's trying to wrap up his probably first and only term as president and get things done that he may have promised to get done before his term ended, if he was not reelected, carry into the second term. Um, that's the best thing that I don't think right now Biden could get a declaration of war out of the House. I don't think the president can write an executive order starting a war. Uh, so I'm not sure there. Biden wants to do these preemptive pardons. Pardon Fauci for everything he did with COVID. Fauci, pardon Liz Cheney for everything she did with the House Select Committee against the J6 prisoners, which we pretty much are proven.
I just heard on Newsmax today, one of Trump's lawyers indicated they're talking about the J6ers and about Hunter Biden, and the attorney for Trump indicated that because of what happened with that Hunter pardon, that he will be given pardons to every single J6er, even those who were responsible for some type of violence. He's
Right.
going because
Okay.
he said it was ridiculous that Hunter was given pardons for raping those children, and he said if he get pardoned for that, then Trump will pardon the J6s for the
Well,
damage he did.
I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to go around it. I think what he needs to do is sit down with the United States pardon attorneys within the Department of Justice and figure out if there is a way to with to pull Hunter's blanket pardon that basically excuses everything he did
Yeah, they are looking for that.
during from 2014 while Biden was vice president through uh, the end of Biden's term in 2024. Uh, to me, uh, a president should not have the authority to pardon a relative who is guilty. Now, Democrats are immediately going to fire back that he pardoned uh, Jared Kushner's father of something so that he could make him the ambassador to France. I'm not familiar with what Jared Kushner's father did, but if it's something equally as bad or worse than what Hunter did, there should not be any pardon there. And you're going to have to look at them on a case by case basis. But in the case of pardoning members of your staff who are guilty of breaking the law and doing things illegal in the United States of America, you should not have a right to pardon them. And there are just as many papers now, articles now, that quote Tony Fauci saying, yeah, basically what I did with COVID, a lot of it was BS. But I got away with it at the time, so, too bad. Well,
Uh,
unfortunately, now the Supreme Court should rule and say, hey, if the guy is basically admitting to what he did is BS, then why should same thing with Hunter? Hunter broke the law that if, excuse me, he lied on his uh, gun application to alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, that he wasn't a drug user, and that he didn't have a drug problem, and he got a gun permit. If you or I did that, you'd lose your gun permit. Uh, so he should. I believe he. I don't even know if he still has the gun permit, but the
I
fact
would,
that he
but,
lied,
but
he's
you
got
know, but with the pardon, wouldn't he be allowed to get it back?
no. I don't believe so, because the pardon in Hunter's case basically says that it says that he's excused from anything that happened between 2014 and 2024. Uh, so I don't believe that now the Trump ATF is going to, even with the knowledge of what he did, give him decide, oh no, okay, you can have a gun permit now. No, they're not going to give him a gun permit. The IRS is upset that Biden that Hunter has gotten a pardon from tax crimes, which the IRS has enough evidence to prove in court, beyond a shadow
Yeah.
of a doubt, that Hunter did in fact evade taxes, did in fact kick up money to some guy named Big Guy, who we pretty much, or they pretty much believe is Joe Biden. They claim they have records of the payments. Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Smoked too much before we started the broadcast.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the smoke wavering around your head there.
No, but he, everybody has evidence to convict Hunter on what he is guilty of as far as tax evasion and the ATF. I think Joe Biden pardoned Hunter for no other reason than if Hunter gets on the stand, the prosecuting attorneys are going to question Hunter, and Hunter has a chance that he might implicate Joe Biden in something, and that can't happen. So pardon your son, get him out of the country, move him, hide him somewhere,
Yeah.
do whatever you have to do so that your son doesn't have to testify against you and prove how terrible of a father you really are.
So, did you hear the excuse they gave for why Biden wasn't in France at the reopening of the Catholic cathedral?
Because Trump was there.
Well, no, he didn't go because he had a conflict in his
Well,
schedule.
right. Well,
It's probably his nappy
that's
time.
no. He was in Angola. He was in
Yeah,
Angola, which
yeah.
as which might be important to the Biden administration because he's the first U.S. president to have gone to Angola. Could that have been? And those trips are planned, years in advance. Plenty of time in advance. Service time to get over there and get set up safely, and well, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And of course, yeah, they're on the president's schedule. But Jill Biden, I believe, was sitting next
Yeah,
to
she was sitting
Trump
next to him. Yeah,
at at the uh, at the rededication of the church.
yeah.
So uh, it seems the media reports it one way, something one way, and it's really another way. If anything, Jill Biden is probably paranoid that Joe could be charged with crimes and lose his presidential pension as a meal ticket,
Well, then
and
could
because Joe job anywhere else.
could we not at least suggest that Jill Biden is also guilty of something?
Yeah, but more importantly, I think what's going to happen in a Republican House is they're going to charge Kamala Harris because the 25th Amendment clearly says that if a president is not fit to be president or is injured and can't be president, then it falls on the responsibility of the vice president to have the five cabinet minister or secretaries vote, and the majority vote decides whether or not the vice president becomes president. And if Kamala had done that, even if Joe is mentally ill and not able to be president, the cabinet ministers, cabinet secretaries, excuse me, would have voted probably against it because they would have saw it as her trying to use any excuse necessary to get Joe out of office so that she could run as the incumbent president. And you know, that's the reason why I think she was defeated. She couldn't separate herself enough from being Joe Biden's vice president. She couldn't separate herself from being one of the worst border czars we've ever had in the history of border czars. Talking up about one day saying, yeah, we need to secure the border. We need to build the wall. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to get Mexico at the table and involved, and not doing any of what she was saying she understood needed to be done.
Yeah.
You know, didn't help improve. what the Border Patrol had to work with to do the job to protect them. Basically, gave them a stand down order. You know, uh, I don't know, I don't know what to tell you. But as far as I'm concerned, no. Jill Biden is the first lady, the wife of the president. Uh, has some responsibilities as first lady. Does not get paid for her job. Her staff, I believe, gets paid, but she does not get paid to do her job because her husband is the president. So, you know, your job is done. Thank you. Move on. Go back to teaching. If the college that you teach at wants to keep you teaching, then stay there. If not, find another one. Otherwise, stay home and take care of your husband, who obviously was asked by his own party to step down because they don't believe he is mentally able to be the 47th president of the United States. So his only option would be to try to run as an independent and break the vote. And I don't think he would have broken the vote. I think most of the vote would have gone to Trump if he
Yeah.
did that. I think more Democrat votes would have gone to Trump if he had tried to do that. I believe that the bulk of the Democrats that voted for Trump did so because they did not want Harris to be president of the United States.
Hmm.
And on that
Yeah,
note, I'm going to stop for a moment and say good morning to Pat O'Grief, who is watching in the Boogie with the Bull book. We're also on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel with a live chat, and you can go watch there. Sorry, Randy, go ahead.
Did you see the video of? I don't know where they were, but it was Biden, I think his wife, and Kamala, and some other people. There was some kind of gathering, and they were totally. Biden was totally dissing Kamala. Was not paying attention to her at all. In fact, wouldn't even look in her direction.
Well, there have been videos. I don't know if they were CGI or not, but there have been videos where Obama and Harris pretty much didn't want anything to do with him when they were in public at his gatherings. Like when he went to the House to do the last State of the Union, the representatives and senators and others in attendance were more focused on shaking Obama's hand and Kamala's hand and walking a few steps ahead of Joe as Joe was kind of trying to shake hands and no one was paying any attention to him until he got up to the podium and was ready to give his speech. So, you I just thought Kamala Harris is done. What she got paid as vice president uh, is done. I don't know if vice presidents get a pension. She might get a. She might have some kind of a pension depending on her years in the Senate.
Yeah, but
She might have.
you're going to see them making the TV show route. They're going to write some books, and
Well,
maybe about 2 years after the fact, they'll be just old news. But I think they're going to do some books, maybe even do a documentary, some talk shows, stuff like that.
they're going to do talk shows, but they're going to get cut off and interrupted, like I just did with you. I apologize, but they're going to cut off and interrupted because they're going to blame Donald Trump for every good thing he did in his first term. They're going to blame Donald Trump for all the trouble that they created for him trying to get his second term 4 years ago. And it's their fault, really, if you want to look at that he didn't win in 2020. Because if he had won in 2020, he'd be wrapping up his second term. He can't run again. So they would have had to run somebody else or have a Republican Congress that could change the law, but I don't think that's going to happen. Uh, and Trump would be done, and he would join the talk show circuit doing the same things they do. They're dissing him. He would be dissing them. I think Barack Obama is just tired of dissing everybody and just needs to go away.
Yeah.
and B, enjoy retirement and his presidential pension, and the fact that he was involved in whatever crimes happened to weaponize the Department of Justice against a political rival, which is highly illegal. And I think he's probably fearing that he could be charged. I don't know if Harris is smart enough to understand that she could be charged. Uh, and the Republicans hold the cards. Why? Because we own Congress. We have the majority of the House and
Yep.
the Senate. Hopefully, if they choose to look into all the BS that took place, uh, it's on them because Trump over the weekend seemed to be telling reporters and interviewers that he is not going to focus on retribution. He's going to let his Justice Department and the appropriate agencies of within the Justice Department, and hopefully now that we have the majority of the House and the majority of the Senate, to investigate and decide for themselves what needs to be done and how the American people need to understand what happened, why it happened, and make sure it never happens again. Because in 4 years, if a Democrat defeats J.D. Vance, we're going to go right back to the way Joe Biden was now. The only problem is that we may have a sane Democrat in the White House, uh, and hopefully that's not going to happen because uh, President Trump and Vice President Vance and the Republican Super Congress are going to take us in a different direction, which appears to be different than trying to bankrupt the United States, however they can, get us into a nuclear war with Russia and possibly China and other people who have nuclear weapons. And that may be the final war that the earth goes through. Regina Mussier says Obama is going to jail with Diddy. Well, maybe Diddy has information on Obama that will help get Obama in jail. Maybe Obama was at some of those parties. I don't really
Yeah.
know. There's
Oh
two.
yes. Did you see that
Listen,
that musician?
there's two views to every post that shows someone at a Diddy party. One is, yeah, I was there. I was at his birthday party, and then I left before 2 o'clock in the morning when the bad party started. Okay, well, you know, is he guilty of being at the party? Is he guilty of knowing what Diddy did at those
He
parties?
that guy the guy you're talking about, that musician, he's guilty of drugging and raping a teenager.
Okay, well, who is Obama?
No, no, no. That singer. Oh shit. I just saw it in
Well,
news.
Regina says Jaguar White. Is that the person? Has videos.
He's a billionaire.
Okay,
Oh shit. Let me see if
I've
I can find
heard
it.
people mention Jaguar White. I don't know enough about him to speak on him. But I have said before that I believe that Epstein is still alive. He didn't die in New York in a New York jail like everybody wants you to believe. There's just too many loose ends that show he was he
Jay
was
Z.
removed, he was removed from the prison, and he's probably doing what he was doing for himself, for the government, just like Pablo Escobar is in prison doing what he did for the cartels and his cartel, but doing it in prison for the United States government because they basically said, you're going to be in prison for the rest of your life. You're going to die in prison. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience. Come work for the United States of America Incorporated, and at least you'll live pretty well until you die.
So it's Jay Z.
Okay. Well, then,
So he's accused of drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl. Apparently, the girl went there to get autographs, bullshit like that. And then Jay Z's chauffeur invited her to go behind the scenes to the party, which she accepted. And then they made her sign a non-disclosure form,
They
and then
made
she
they made a 14-year-old who does not have legal consent.
13.
And they made a 13-year-old who does not have, which is even worse, signed
Yeah,
a non-disclosure agreement on what went on at a party she was at. The 13-year-old doesn't even have consent to be at that party, consent to whatever happened at that party. The parents, you want to think, would not have sent her or allowed her to go to that party. So, I mean, the whole thing here is that this whole thing with Diddy and minors is going to lead to parents who obviously didn't do the right thing as parents, and the charges are just not going to stop.
yeah.
And Diddy, you got to figure, is going to get Diddy'd while he's in prison. Or, as I often say, he's going to be the belle of the ball until he wishes he was Diddy.
Oh my god.
Forget about conversations where you or computer generated videos that you see of Hillary saying you're going to get Hillary or you're going to get Clinton. You're going to get Diddy. Because if Diddy had these parties and he's convicted of all the bad stuff that happened at these parties, he is not a he's not going to be recognized as a member of the board of citizens where he's going to be. You know, uh, you know, and I mean, I don't know where this all goes. I don't know why in 2024 anybody thinks they can do this, regardless of how long they've been doing this, and figure one day they're going to get caught. Somebody's going
Yeah.
to say something. Something's going to happen, and it is all going to be exposed. And uh, I just
Well, well,
don't.
let's hope that everything that's going on right now with with Diddy and similar like parties. Um, let's hope that moving forward, these idiots who think they can do whatever they want to and get away with it, think twice and stop having these parties and these drug parties and stuff like that. But somehow I don't think so. They're
Well,
going to enjoy life until they get caught.
they're going to enjoy life until they get caught, but there just seems to be too many of these people who are enjoying life until they get caught, and they're obviously not the kingpins or queenpins within the organizations that they're doing things. They're the ones that are expendable, I would guess, because America sees them every day doing whatever it is they do for a living, and or commenting, he's not guilty, this, that, and the other thing. And if they're going to keep doing this and they don't understand how wrong it is to be doing what you're doing, at some point, you know, you got to answer to the people of America.
Yeah.
At some point, either the majority of the American people want the majority of their elected representatives to make this stuff legal, which I can't imagine they do. And if they do, then I'm going to have to figure out a way to move to Mars. But NASA would reject me because I have asthma, and you can't sneeze in space, I guess, without blowing your head up inside of your spacesuit. Uh, my brother my brother's best friend when we lived in Northern California, his father had trained with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to go up on that space shot And unfortunately, his father developed asthma, and they
Mm.
sidelined him. They said you can't go up. I'm not sure exactly what the reason for having asthma is. You can't go up.
Right. The problem
But
with breathing, the medicine, the
you can't
oxygen.
go. Well, I would tend to imagine that it is something that you get pressure in your head, and you're in a pressurized International Space Station, and whatever, and you sneeze, and like I said, you blow your head apart. And then, I'm sorry it's graphic, but that could be that could be that could be what happened. Uh, so you know, uh, I just keep coming back to the same point. A business that is illegal for as long as you do it. And you're spending the whole time that you're doing it hoping that you're not going to get caught. They help to build a big organization that doesn't get caught. Eventually, Americans seem to want to stand up and say, enough of this bullcrap, enough of you doing what you know is illegal. It's time to stop. But again, with politicians and justice departments on all kinds of levels and law enforcement involved protecting them. Who knows? Who knows? People on a post that I was on asked why anybody thought Mark Zuckerberg wanted to meet with Trump at Mar-a-Lago recently, and I was the only one who basically said what I think is the truth. He wanted to meet with Trump because he knows that Brendan Carr, who's been an FCC commissioner for a very long time and is now his pick to be FCC chairman, wants to do the reform, the rewrite of the Telecommunications Decency Act of 1996 because it hasn't been updated in 1996, and Section 230, which controls social media, needs to be upgraded and reformed, and Brendan Carr wants those reforms to come in. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that thought, but the point is that America has a dying desire to hear what is going on and wants our government to start taking care of things that they need to take care of. And this is something that they need to take care of, and they know they need to stop it. So I'm sure Zuckerberg was there meeting with Trump for whatever time he had, hoping to convince President Trump that when there is enough to for uh, FCC Chairman Carr to come after Mark Zuckerberg for seriously violating Section 230 on a multitude of levels, that Trump is, you know, that he's not going to get a pardon from Trump. And it's not just because Trump owns Trump Media and Technology Group, which owns Truth Social. It's because he broke rules.
Have
President
you
Trump owns TMTG, which owns Truth Social. They don't break rules.
have you been
Elon Musk owns X, which doesn't break rules.
have you been following the weather patterns? Apparently, there's a hellacious storm coming this week. It's going to come around your area, then work its way up to up north.
And
Uh,
I've kept a little bit of a watch on it only because I'll watch weather patterns that I know are going to come through us, go through Western North Carolina again, and whack them even worse than they already got whacked from the last two, and then work its way up the Northeast where we have family.
Yeah,
So I
this
said,
one here is the way the map that they're showing shows. I don't know where you're at. Shows Tampa, and then from Tampa
no, we're
upward.
north of Tampa.
So well, okay, so north that would be. It's kind of hard to describe. The map, okay, shows Tampa, and below Tampa it's clear, but above Tampa, going upward of the state, going into uh, 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 the upper states, that's where the storm's going to hit. If that makes any
Okay.
sense to you.
Okay, so at this point, I would say if I looked at it, it would show that it's going to pass over us. What it's going to do here in Florida as it comes up through Hurricane Alley, I don't know. I hope everybody here in Florida is prepared. They live this life every day for as long as they've been here. The state seems to have a pretty good response based on years of practice living in an area known as Hurricane Alley. I hope that we are able to help as it moves north. If it goes up the northeast, I hope we are able to help people on the way up uh, as it goes up. Are we going to be able to help? Not as much as we would be if FEMA had kept that $1 billion and used it for what it was supposed to be used for.
So apparently, uh, getting back to Syria, the I don't know what you call them terrorists, whoever you want to call those who overthrew Syria, but they got into his compound, and Assad has a very extensive um, car collection, and the car collection includes a Lamborghini Diablo, Mercedes Benz, two of them, a Ferrari, an Audi, Toyota Cruisers, Land Cruisers, a Rover Defender, and the list goes on and on and on. So I hope that they didn't destroy them. I hope that whoever takes over the country either sells them off or keeps them for himself. But you know what's going to happen? Those cars are probably going to get destroyed. They're probably going to be, you know,
Well,
paraded down the street with.
maybe they'll do the right thing, like you said. Maybe whoever uh, is the new Turkish government will decide to see the value of those cars and sell them, auction them
Yeah,
off. And
and
some private collector is going to be crazy enough to want to own them just because they were
yeah, his, yeah.
an asshats.
Yeah, Also, Putin's in a rush to get his soldiers and as much of his equipment out of Syria. Apparently, he had quite an extensive amount of military equipment, including missile defense systems and so forth. Uh, the satellite shows military transports at an airport, and they're loading up their people and getting the hell out of Dodge.
Well, he needs to get that stuff out of Syria and get it back to Russia.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, it's too bad he doesn't have a dome that he could close over Russia and bounce them back to Syria. I mean, again, I keep coming back to war, conventional war. Bombing the hell out of each other into submission is just the wrong way to go. I mean, unfortunately, it seems to work for the military minds that want to please their leaders or make their leaders think they're doing their job because obviously in North Korea, if you don't do what Kim tells you to do and you're in the military, odds are you get put up against the wall somewhere and get shot,
yeah, yeah.
or or you get hanged. You know,
Whichever comes first.
well, you get hanged. Probably the sentence is probably hung until you're dead, and then you're shot to make sure you're dead. But then
Yeah,
again, your family gets it too, supposedly.
yeah.
Uh, you know, so I don't know what the answer is anymore. I really don't.
I've been seeing videos from some of these eastern countries where mostly the women who got caught without a covering on, or they got caught having sex with someone else who's not her husband, or some stupid thing, and they're being taken out into public street, and they're being whipped to death. uh, it's it's a shame that they have those type of laws, but I understand their religion is strict,
but
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 you know,
there's a difference between you know between how quote unquote civilized cultures have gotten to in the year 2024 AD, I guess, uh, and if I just don't you know you know we, we should move the M's that think it's okay to treat women and children that way to a place where it's only them, the males, and if they want to do that, they can do that to each other until they die. Uh, uh, you know, time, times have changed, and the rest of the world is not is, tends to be more civilized, and they're not going they're not going they're not going to do that. Uh, we don't do that kind of stuff. So I mean, it just keeps making me wonder why everybody keeps saying Jesus is coming, God is coming back. Get ready for Jesus 2.0. Some people think Trump, the second coming of Trump, is is Jesus 2.0, uh, and it may be in some regards. But why did it take all the crap that happened in 2024 years to make Jesus want to decide that, yeah, maybe it's time to come back? You know, obviously, he's 2024 times worse because he didn't come back. Because things are 2024 times worse than all the years, than the few days he was gone and came back. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Uh,
it's just it seems those for whatever reason those Mideastern countries seem to want to live life the way it was thousands of years ago. They haven't redesigned
but
themselves so the for the for the 21st century. They're still living like they're living back when at the time of Jesus.
but not everyone of them seems to be that way. There seems to be a version of the Quran which people claim was the one written by Muhammad that was not radicalized, and one that was taken and radicalized for whatever reason they chose to radicalize it. So you can't automatically believe that every single one of them is bad. I mean, you can if you want to, because you have the right to believe anything you want, but you can't really just automatically decide that every single one of them is bad. They did, Regina. They did change. Some of them did change their culture, but you can't hold that against the ones who didn't, because most Muslims I know are very peaceful, loving people. Okay, even the ones that are here in the United States. You know,
But
some are, though, some are, and some aren't. I'm not going to get into a full blown
I don't say that some are,
on it.
some aren't. Yeah.
Well, some are, and some aren't. So you can hold things against the ones who are, but you can't hold the who are radicalized, but you can't hold things against those who aren't.
No, and I'm not saying there are many who have affiliate themselves with the country they're living in, which is ours, but
Right?
there are many others who feel that their life and their duty in life is to convert as many of our people to their way of living, and to take our country backwards into Sharia law and things like that.
right? And what I don't think well, they get away with it in a piece of the country here and a piece of the country there, here and there. But if we were doing what we should be doing as a country with a constitution that doesn't allow that kind of stuff, you like President Trump wants to do, send Tom Homan
Yeah,
and the vans and buses and load them up on military planes and send them back to where they belong.
yeah. I
Because,
can't.
because it seems also that Trump has said that he understands as I go through, or as we go through all of these people that we capture, some may actually qualify to be here. But he doesn't care about that right now, because right now, if you're a criminal and you came from a country where you were in prison and they sent you here because they just didn't want to have you there anymore, that's wrong. That country has to take you back. Why? Because you came here and you broke our laws. As
Yeah,
far as I'm concerned, we should not have to, any one of them who commits murder should have just gotten an instant death penalty, period. There's no excuse. And if you go back to the country that you came from, you should be put to death there.
yeah. I mean,
You know,
we should incorporate the laws that they apply to themselves in their own country to the laws here.
well, no, I'm
So,
not saying that you go up to the top of the tallest building and you throw them off. No,
well, no, no.
no,
That's what
no,
you that's
no,
what you do to gay
no,
people. I'm
no.
talking about you take them out in the middle of the street and you're whipping to death.
No, you could do that, or you just put them up against the wall at Gitmo, or you just send them home and make their country
Yeah,
deal with it.
yeah,
From one of the gangs, the leaders of Venezuela have said to these gang people is don't come back, because if you do, we will kill you. So they're kind of damned if they do and damned if
yeah,
they don't.
yeah.
And if that's true, then if you're guilty of killing somebody here, then you get the death penalty.
I just can't wait to 20th to see what all starts happening and getting this country
It's
back.
it's going to be a civil war between sanctuary states, mayors, governors, members of Congress, and the Trump administration working on United States immigration policy. And unfortunately, nobody is going to like how it's going to go. I don't think it's going to be as peaceful in this case, where the trucks are going to pull up, a couple of sheriffs are going to pull up, some local police are going to pull up, some ICE officers are going to pull up, and they're going to tell me, keep you and your security officers away and let us do our job.
I just
And the
think
guy's going to come out laughing and joking and just get in the truck and drive away and be deported.
uh, um, did Holman say what personnel he's going to use
No,
for taking these
I, I
people
don't.
out?
I don't believe he has, because it's not necessary, I think, to release that information yet. Obviously, when we go into, because I don't know if we have a big enough deportation force to go in and hit all these targeted sanctuary cities at the same time on the same day and just do one massive sweep way. How we're going to do it. And I think also in some cases, maybe some of the talk from Tom Homan is to scare some of the leads out.
Hmm. I'd be interested to see if any of them do voluntarily go back. Um,
Well, I think they
but
will, but I think some will one by one as they realize that the free ride, the the free living space in a 5-star hotel that they're probably trashing,
yeah,
that they're not paying for, isn't happening anymore because the Trump administration isn't going to pay for it. The free monthly food cards, the free iPhones, the free iPads, the free this, the free that. Uh, no United States company should be allowed to give free whatever to people who are here illegally. If you want to give an iPhone and an iPad and a food card to people who deserve it, give it to people who live here and have lived here all their lives and might deserve the support their tax money pays for. But don't just start allowing anybody who can hop, skip, jump, swim, and walk across a border get arrested just so that they can live here for
Yeah.
free.
Yep.
And if we went to their countries and tried to do it, we would most likely be shot or held in their jails until there's enough of their people in our jails to do a stupid trade. I mean, come on. That just tells you how stupid this whole thing really is. When the money dries up and people aren't getting the free things that they've been living on for forever, you got to think that maybe some of them will go home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and probably because some of the free stuff they're getting, they're probably sending home anyway.
Sales teas. Yeah. Uh,
But
yes.
I
Yes.
don't
Well,
know.
it is going on 11:30. I gotta get the rest of my day going here. It's kind of nasty weather here. I woke up. I actually overslept today because normally, well, my bedroom windows face the side of the house where all the sun comes in during the daytime. But today, because of the overcast, my room stayed dark longer. So I woke up at 9:15, which is a long night for me. I don't normally sleep that long. What? God, pay bills. Randy first on the list. Love you guys. Love you guys.
I think she wants to be the first on your list
Oh,
today.
okay. Thanks.
It's
Yeah,
just a
thank
quiet.
you. And I do want to go over yours again. When you and I can work something out, but not monetarily, but
Okay.
uh, uh, I'll message you what I need to get started all over again, and
Okay.
because you and I have been working together really well, and
Yeah.
I treat my friends the way I want to be treated, and I want to. And we had discussed this
We're
before.
friends.
Oh, we're not. Oh, well then I'll take back my offer. No, no, but yeah. So
I tease.
hey, I made the last payment on my computer. It is now paid off.
Cool.
So my very expensive computer tower is paid off,
Did you
and
sell
I
the other
actually
one yet?
no, I actually even reduced the damn price
Ooh.
to $150.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you reduced it to free plus shipping. Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
ah,
I'm sorry.
ah, ah.
You have to swallow before you laugh.
Oh my god, that caught me. Um, oh my god. Okay. Anyways, where was I? Yeah. So then I asked him about my. Cause I have these two 32-inch monitors that I use, and I love them. They are. I mean, for what I do, I need them.
What do
Uh,
you do?
and he said I got a year yet to pay on them. Holy shit.
What do you do?
Well, I spread out the
No, 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 no. What do
oh,
you
what do I
do?
do? I do genealogy,
Oh, okay.
and there's a possibility I don't know yet. So the Bouguet family, who are those singers that I use their music, and I promote them. They have a website that has not been attended to in a while, so I'm going to see if I can, you know, take it over and take care of it for them. So we'll see. Uh, But I actually had a thought when I was sleeping during the night. I have this 52-inch TV down the one room that was not being used at all. And I thought, I wonder what it would look like if I brought that up here and use it as a monitor for my computer.
You need a lot of space though, because up close,
Well, well,
this close,
I have this.
this close up to it, it will probably hurt your eyes.
Yeah. I was thinking that's what my thought was. Being only a couple feet from the actual screen, that it's gonna be like, "Oh," it's like that thing going on. But yeah, so I got a year left on my monitors, and the only thing I could do uh, is if I found ever came across and had the cash in hand to actually buy one paid in full. I could do that because I can actually pay these things off
Okay,
ahead of time and save a shitload of money.
okay. What,
But it's getting that.
before we go any further into that, why don't you tell people what you do for money and how they might want to contact you?
Okay, so I do genealogy, which is the study of a family's history. Uh, I take some information from you, nothing personal like social security numbers, credit card numbers, nothing like that. It's simply your name, your birth date, city, state, your mom's and dad's names. And from that, I use over 12 different services to create your family tree, to do the research of your family, and find out all kinds of neat things. Tom Vernon's been with me almost 2 years now, and he's on Facebook. And he just reached out to me to ask me to search for photographs of specific people in his family. So I'm doing that. I just found out that he is his grandfather times 10 was Admiral Edward Vernon, who was an admiral in the British Navy, and they call him Old Grog because what happened was in the Navy they were allowed to drink so much rum, but he kept watering down the rum because he didn't want them drunk all the time. So finally, he just ended the practice of allowing them to drink rum on duty. So there's this whole collection of videos about his grandfather who was responsible for this. So I can find out all kinds of neat things about your family that you probably never even knew about. Uh, and I'm very cheap. I'm extremely cheap. And I have a lot of I have several current clients who attest to my abilities. I have past clients who attest to my abilities. So if you need information, you just want to talk and see what I can do for you, reach out to me at my name, Randall Rhodes, or on the roads to our all roads lead to home genealogy, and we can talk. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Anything else?
That's it. I'll be pushing the Bouguet family. The Bouguet family is a mother, a son, and twin daughters who sing primarily Dixie, gospel, Christian, Southern music. They are absolutely phenomenal musicians. They're coming out with some new material in the next few months, so I'm going to be promoting them for them and creating broadcasts and so forth. So be watching for that. Also, a possibility, don't know yet, still in the works, that Dave and I may collaborate and to do something about UFOs and aliens. We've been discussing that, and I told him what my responsibility.
It's only because I buried you with about 150.
I watched them. They're very interesting.
In about in about like 7.5 minutes, I was watching reels. And anything that said UFO, I said boom, 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 boom.
Well, but be aware now that you've done that, they're going to be sending them to you.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a long one.
Now I'm going to have to watch them all. And
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there you go. And I got to run.
I only pay myself 1 penny per broadcast I do. If I do somebody else's broadcast, it's 2 pennies.
Oh, okay.
Especially if I'm involved in the production.
Or a tuppence.
2.5.
Yeah, I'll pay you. How about tuppence? I'll pay you tuppence.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, Randy,
Hey,
always a pleasure.
speaking of tuppence, just real quick. My dad was stationed in England for 3 years. Okay, and their money system is different, especially their coins. Their coins are so freaking huge. It is their penny is like the size of of our silver dollars, maybe even bigger. I remember we went to this one carnival place in England, and my dad gave us a pocket full of change to go play things, right? But these damn pennies are bigger than a silver dollar. I mean, I don't know what they are now, but I love their money, and uh, wish I had some of it now. But anyway, I gotta go. Take
All right, Randy, thank you very much. Randy Rhodes, All Roads Lead to Home, Genealogy, and now computers, and very soon UFOs and stuff like that. I just happened to be watching a bunch of reels yesterday, looking for reels to share in the groups, and every so often there was a few UFO related uh, reels, which I sent to Randy, and then I think put a note in that maybe we could follow up on some of those. Not sure exactly when it would be uh, or where they would be. I don't I don't really know. We have to work all of that out. But anyway, if you have an idea for a believable morning caffeine, which is Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, please message me. Let me know who you are, what you are, when you are, where you are, and which Monday or Wednesday you would like to be on to discuss it. You'll also be able to join us on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, 2 p.m. Eastern, and do the same thing. Get more people to see and hear about you. We take the 7 p.m. and we share it on X on my profile while it's live. We share it on Threads if we can do that, and we share it on Streetlock, which we can always do because we permanently linked the Boogie Winnable YouTube channel over to Streetlock so that you'll be able to watch it there. We're looking for a few other places that we can do that too. Usually you have to pay social media networks some kind of money to be on them, but with a little bit of creativity, there are other ways to go about doing it, and we do that as long as we can avoid having to pay them because we are the no budget broadcasting company for a reason. Anyway, it's 11:11. Excuse me, 11:31. That's exactly an hour and 4 minutes for this Believable. I told Randy we would go an hour. So you have been watching Believable Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good, so I say it. Anyway, double means for victory. This Believable broadcast is going to come to an end. If you see me out in public later this afternoon, it is me. I have to go. It's I shot Monday. Sometimes the day changes. It's I shot Monday this time. And I look forward to it, and I don't kind of look forward to it. You have to think loud. You don't look forward to it because it's a shot in your eye, but you look forward to it because if you don't do the shot in your eye every couple of months, then you run the risk of not having that eye work anymore. And I don't want to do that. Anyway, on that note, double V's for victory. We're going to go off and enjoy the day. We will be on the American Rebellion tonight. At least I will be on the American Rebellion tonight at 7 p.m. I missed Friday and Saturday because of my cold. I think if I stay hydrated through the rest of the day and work on this congestion that I got to get out of me, then I'll be okay. Anyway, take the broadcast if you liked it and share it all over Facebook with a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, share it all over Facebook with a thumbs down and tell me and Randy why you didn't like it, and we'll work on making it better so that you like it. If you want to share it off of Facebook, my recommendation is go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and take it and share it from there. And if you are going to post it on a network, social media network that allows you to embed a link in a post. That means it will run automatically by itself every time we are live. And when we are not live, they can just look at the Boogie and see prior episodes. Uh, Please go ahead and do it that way. If you do embed it on a social media network, let me know just so all of a sudden I don't start getting emails and complaints from them or whatever, that we are following their policy. So far, on Streetlock and on Threads, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube live chat does work. I don't know if it works on X because it didn't work when we were linked through StreamYard onto X, uh, but it might be working now. And if it is working now, that's probably why they will boot me from being able to do it on X because I posted on my @BoogieWT Bull profile. But anyway, we are working on doing all of that, getting it posted on as many social media networks as we can live from the YouTube channel, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel team. Me and some very dedicated people are working on being able to do that. So if you want to help us, you can take it from the YouTube channel and share it wherever you can on social media, and everybody will be happy. So, like I said, tonight at 7 o'clock is the American Rebellion downstairs on the American Rebellion with Jerry Michaels and company. And I believe I will be there because, like I said, I missed Friday and Saturday due to this cold, which is finally starting to get better. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m. is Boogie with the Bull Uncensored. Tuesday on my Dave Boogie profile here and over on YouTube and wherever else we can get it posted during the broadcast. Take care. Have a great day. We are out.